Hello and welcome back to our channel. Today we'll look how to install the Su-30 MKA mod and look inside the cockpit as well. So first thing, you will be provided a link on release date of 26th of January. Once you've got the download, just open the folder. You'll find this Su-30 and MK_SFM. All you need to do is copy this, go to your C drive, username, save games, DCS, mods, aircraft, and paste it right here with along your other modes. Inside the mode you should see all these files. So that's it for installation. Next thing we look at is how to configure your aircraft. So as you know, the Su-30 uses FC3 package for its weapon and targeting system. To configure those, you need to select which role you are going to fly. For example, if I plan to fly an air-to-air loadout, if I plan to fly an air-to-air mission, I will select air-to-air and use the Su-33 package. Or if I select air-to-ground, I will use the Su-25T package. So for that, you have to go inside the mod folder, the Su-30 MK_SFM folder, then the config luas. Once you open the config lua, you should see everything over here, along with the names of the aircraft that are inside this mod. So all the aircrafts are described here. So if you want to fly an air-to-ground loadout, you select AG right here. AG, and if you are flying air-to-air loadout using radar and stuff, you have to select AA. The next thing we have to configure is EFM false. So we do not have a perfect EFM right now, it's work in progress much often, but there is an EFM inside our mod package. You can use it if you want, don't use it, it's your choice. Basically we only wanted to do an SFM for now while EFM is in study, but it still has it. So if you turn this value into true, that will enable your EFM and it will give you ability to use EFM. Yeah, remember EFM, when you fly in EFM you will have a subsonic aircraft, but you may be able to perform some complex maneuvers with that using the thrust vector of course. So once this is done, you save it. Rest of the things you don't have to touch. Once multi-crew gets implemented, or if we do implement it before release, all you need to do is turn this value to false. That will enable multi-crew, and remember EFM is supposed to be true when you enable disable FC3. That's it, and now you can turn on DCS. Alright, so we are in DCS right now, so let's check out what weapons do we have on our Su-30. So Su-30 will be found, all the aircrafts will be found in Russia as well as their country of origin. For example, MKA will be found in Algeria, MKI will be found in India, and MKM in Malaysia and so on. So moving on, let's check out the weapons. Alright, for weapons, let's start with the Su-30 MKA. Okay, so for MKA it uses very standard weapons. It has the R73, R77. Remember, R77 and R27E are both custom weapons made by us, not standard ones. Then we've got for air to ground we've got KH-59M, KH-59MK. Some of these weapons are actually more experimental weapons, but we'd like to have it on our mod. So yeah, there's R77 again. R27ER. Bombs also, we've got the regular package including cap, B-taps, all the versions that you would usually see on a Russian aircrafts. There's some pods. Pods are mostly just for showcase. They are not useful in their functional ability, so it's just for showcase. So the next one we have is the MKI. So it has a very interesting weapons package. For short range, we have R73 as our standard heaters. The next we have is the R77. You saw it already. Then we've got I-Derby-ER, 100 km range dual pulse missile, Astra Mark 1. The next one we have is R27EA. This is an experimental weapon that never came into service. It's an active radar R27 that never saw the day of its life, so the day of service. So next one we have is R27EP. So EP is passive tracker. It has a passive radar homing. All it does is track the enemy's radar emissions on its terminal face. So next we have is the ER. Those are the standards we've already seen: ER, R77 and the R77-1. -1 is a little bit better than R77. It has a range about 100 kilometers at least to say. We have some bombs. We have some air-to-ground weapons. For air-to-ground, there's an interesting Rudra M1. So this is an anti-radiation missile, has a good range. So the next we have is a SAW pod. This is called the Smart Anti-Airfield weapon. They are used to destroy targets on the airfield and has 100 kilogram warhead on them. So next thing we have are, for show, we've got some pods here like the lightning pod right here. This is again for show, it's not functional. And we've got BrahMos missile, anti-ship BrahMos missile. Has a range of about 300 to 400 kilometers. This is a fire and forget missile. All you need to do is point it at a direction where the ships are and forget about it. The next thing we have are the regular air-to-ground missiles. We've got some custom ones like the KH-31AD and the KH-31PD. AD is for anti-ship, PD is for SAMs and other targets. So this one has a little bit higher range compared to KH-31A or KH-31P, and basically it's better than it at least. Then we've got the other ones are standard, I guess, KH-29T and L. Alright, we haven't added the custom bombs that are usually fired from the MKI or the experimental ones like the Spice 2000, but we'll see that in the future versions. So for now, let's get in the cockpit and I'll show you. Let's look around in the cockpit. Alright, so we are in DCS right now. As you can see, our cockpit right here. Most of the switches are functional. It's clickable. So for now, you can see on HUD it's showing you a mixture of FC3 HUD along with the custom HUD we've made. So to switch between the HUDs, you can use the switch right here. Right now it's using a custom plus FC3. Once I switch, it will show you the FC3 HUD, and the third one it will show you the custom HUD only. The custom HUD is good enough for navigation, but if you want to switch between the air to ground and air to air stuff, you have to use the custom plus FC3 combination. So the next thing we have is the MFDs right here. It will show you the fuel info. It will show you the TSD. TSD is only for marking your waypoints. It's showing the closest waypoint marked towards Anapa Air Base. You can adjust some zoom levels, and zoom level right here. A lot of functions need to be added, but we don't have much on info, so it's gonna be just like this. Then we've got the VSD screen. It's the same screen from that one. Then TSD, the RWR screen. You can filter out targets on RWR, like you want to ignore C, just to disable this one. SAM and EWR. Description will be given on the left side right here top. Right now there's no radar contact or radar display illuminating me, so it won't show you anything, but when it displays, it will on the left top, it will show you what type of a aircraft or what type of a ground asset is it that's illuminating you. Then we've got the fuel page. Some of them are just for show functions, we don't know really about how it works, so it's just that. Fuel, landing gears, system, you know, the systems, you can check it all from here. Then we've got the weapons MASD page. This will show you what weapons you are carrying out right now and what's left. Using this, you can know what you have equipped. Alright, for the detailing and threads, you have to switch to MASD page on this screen. The last screen only will show you the MASD page. To enable the detailing, you have to select MASD and the DLT. This will show you the detailing. Right now we are in nav mode, so it's not showing any contacts, and no, there are no contacts around me as well. So I'll switch to air-to-air here, and now you'll have the situational awareness around you. TGP is when you have selected air to ground. You select TGP, you use this targeting method, and it will show you how to target this thing. So no function using it right now since we are in air-to-air. Alright, so next things we have instrument lighting right here. These are all functional, basically used at night, so yeah. These are main power switches for your most of the sensors. Then you've got countermeasure dispenser right here. Five at once actually. And that's shaft. These are also mounted on your throttle, so you can keybind them. So also for stick, you need to keybind a couple of things in controls. You have to go to adjust controls first and go into access commands. In access command, you shall see FCS pitch axe and SCS roll axe. So you need to add these two values on your stick. For keyboard users, unfortunately, we haven't added it yet, but give us a little bit, we may find some solution for you. For till then, you can use the trim keys to hotkey the trim hat switches to fly. Just give us a time and we'll create some hotkey binds for that. And then we've got thrust vectoring nozzles implemented. So you turn this switch on and the switch on your stick. Now the thrust vectoring is on. As you can see. So let's turn that off. And that takes off the light. To switch between the cockpit, you can switch using 0 on your numpad. Once I press 0, I switch behind. To enable and disable the pilot, you can use Shift P. So this will enable the pilot. Going back to the front seat. The rear seat hasn't been implemented much, but yes, it has some basic functionalities at least. Switch back to the front one. Alright, so I think that's it for now. Next thing we'll look at is a cold start. So it has a proper cold start procedure to turn on all its system. So we'll look at that the next time. Alright, thank you.